Welcome to the R&R show. Sit back and relax and enjoy the best little sports show ever. I'm your host, Michael Roope, and this is my co-host, William Rumsey. Hello, William.
Roope.
All right, we are joined by former Los Angeles Raider Jack Squirek. Jack, I appreciate you joining us today on the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me. With the Super Bowl coming up, it's always a big day for me. We always have a smaller party nowadays, but it's always real enjoyable to reflect and look back on the game that made it. That's become a household.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, your play sticks out in a lot of players, a lot of fans' minds. Do you get a lot of media requests during this time of year to talk about that play?
Yeah, I do. Usually, right about now, it depends on who's playing. Obviously, when the Raiders are in it, it's bigger. I get more interviews.
Yeah.
But usually, probably at least 5 interviews.
I guarantee you do. And, I kind of mentioned off air, I've been a diehard Raiders fan my whole entire life. And your play as I think I just turned 9 in that 84 Super Bowl, but that 83 Raiders team is like literally my favorite football team of all time. You had a cast of characters on that team. Talk a little bit, what was it like to play with some of those guys like your Lyle Alzado or your Howie Long or and players like that?
Well, like you said, it was a cast of characters. And, when I first got drafted by the Raiders, I wondered, hey, do I fit in on this team? Because I didn't see myself as the kind of guy that would make a tackle and then hit somebody at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that they were known for.
Yeah.
Allegedly happened.
Yeah. Allegedly.
When I first got there, I'm thinking, wow, do I fit in with these guys? Because you had John Matuzak, who's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
Lyle Alzado and Ted Hendricks. So when I first got there, I relaxed a lot because everybody was real friendly. You wouldn't they had that image, but really they're all pretty nice guys, except during the game.
Absolutely. Well, listen, like I said, there's cast of characters. I grew up just loving that whole team. But obviously, when you got drafted by the Raiders, you obviously knew you were a part of a really solid team. The Raiders have been competitive all through the 70s and the early 80s. They won that Super Bowl against the Eagles just a few years before you got there. Did you think on that 83 team, did you feel like you had the pieces in place to make that run in the Super Bowl?
Well, I thought we had a good shot because we played in 1982. There was a strike. It was a strike season, and we won, I think, 8-1, a record. And we pretty much dominated. So I thought that year we might get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, but then we played the Jets first game of the playoffs. We lost to them. It was kind of unexpected to lose to them. And we ended up losing. So after that, I knew we had a pretty good team. And, so I kind of had an inkling. I know Tom Flores at the beginning of the year said, hey, our goal is to make it to the Super Bowl this year and win it. He said, not to lose it, to win it. So that was our goal. And we achieved it. And, nothing could make me happier or prouder of winning the Super Bowl like that.
So it's almost been 40 years since that play occurred. Do you still remember, can you diagnose that play, what the call was? They were backed up, what the call was on the field, the defense, and then how you made that play?
Yeah, it's pretty clear to me. It's been a while, like you said, but I just remember playing the Washington Redskins, the 3rd game of the regular season, I think 3rd or 4th, early in the season we played them. And they ran that play right before half, and he gained about 70 yards. And I think they kicked a field goal or something, but there was we missed like 10 guys missed tackles. And I think what happened was we just got sloppy. Guys were diving at them, and it was poor tackling. So we kind of expected when our defensive coordinator saw that they're sending in Joe Washington with a 3 wide receiver set, we knew there was a good chance of them run that screen. But, you know, we didn't want to, you don't like to anticipate something and say it's going to be a screen. You like to say, hey, it might be a screen. Let's go out there and get in the right defense for it. But in this case, our defensive coordinator called me over and he said, Jack, I want you to go in there for Matt Millen. I want you to, he said, everybody's going to be in a prevent zone because, you know, we felt pretty comfortable with that defense. He said, you're going to be man-to-man on Joe Washington. I remember him saying, you know, don't miss the tackle or do something. And he said, I remember his last words were, don't do something stupid like go for the interception. It's pretty much instinctive. And I just went for the interception. And, you know, it really happened so quickly. You know, people asked me, did you see the ball in the air? I said, not really. I said, it happened so quick that before I knew it, I was in the end zone. I had the ball and raised my hand up for the touchdown, and still brings back warm memories.
Oh, absolutely. Like now,
That's cool. That's just cool to hear that.
absolutely. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Matt Millen was particularly fond of coming off that field, was he?
Nah, he never liked to come off the field. You know, he was a great linebacker. He was all pro and hard hitter, you know, just a great linebacker. But I guess Charlie just felt, you know, like I could do a better job in that situation, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, in all honesty, I mean, it's not like even if Washington gained 20 yards, we'd still be in great shape.
Yeah.
It was just a matter, we wanted to prevent them from getting that big time screen, like a 50-yard gain or something.
Absolutely. Now, when that play was developing and you seen Joe Theismann look to the other side, did you say it's happening? Did you like instinctively?
Not really, because I was, you know, in a man defense, you can't take your eyes. It's pretty tough if you take your eyes off the ball carrier. So, you know, when you're locked up on them like that, you're pretty much focused on the running back. But I think the angle that Washington took, Joe Washington, I think the angle he took, Theismann was back a little further, and I could kind of see Theismann, and I could see the running back at the same time. And when I saw the ball being released, I thought, you know, I pretty much I had a chance to intercept it. So I just broke on the ball real quick, and everything turned out great.
And that was really, that just basically squashed the will of the Redskins. You know, I think they just knew they were pretty much toast at that point. And when you scored that touchdown, Howie Long, you know, he basically looks like he's just won the Oscars. He's straight, you know, goes up straight like that. I believe that's maybe Howie's favorite Super Bowl moment or play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, they're all great plays. I mean, Marcus Allen's 74-yard touchdown, a great play. You know, like I said, I was fortunate to play on a great team. You know, I was a decent player, but those guys were great. And, you know, I just feel fortunate to play on that team and make a big play like that in the Super Bowl. But, you know, whenever you can get an easy score like that, quick and easy, right at halftime, it kind of deflates the other team because we just got an easy score and they're going to have to get the ball and they're not going to get an easy score. So,
you were born in Cleveland or outside of Cleveland. You live in Cleveland now. You've stated you're a Browns fan. This is going to be a random question from me, but how do Browns fans feel about Baker Mayfield?
I think it's kind of mixed, actually. I think there are a lot of people love him and some people aren't sure. I don't know if people hate him. I think it's one season. You can't really go by one season. I think it was an important season, but you know, it's still only one season. I think when you have this much talent and you don't get to the playoffs, it's kind of deflating. Mm-hmm. It kind of takes your confidence away. So I think this is going to be a big year for him to see if he can regain his confidence and play again. And we'll see by next year, probably the third or fourth game into the year, we'll know, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So Billy just touched on that. So you live in Cleveland. So like when you have the Raiders against like the Browns, who are we rooting for?
I kind of go for the Raiders.
Okay, hey, good pick there. Good pick. I
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I mean,
that.
I guess because I played for them, and you kind of get that bond after being there like almost 5 years and stuff like that.
Yep. Now, do you guys have a lot of reunions on that Super Bowl team? Is there ever?
Usually at least one reunion a year.
Okay.
Sometimes two. They'll get us. We always go before training camp or during training camp.
Yep.
We have a reunion while they're in training camp, like a 3-day reunion, and then during the season maybe sometimes.
Okay.
So it's pretty fun to get back together with all those guys and
So
relive those memories.
the $1 million question, I got this, like I said, I've been a diehard Raiders fan, and I got this in the newsstand. I was so excited. You've got to have this thing at your house, do you not?
Yeah, it's framed.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say Marcus Allen's long touchdown run isn't on this cover. That's you, my friend.
No.
That play.
He's not. I don't think he's happy about it either.
Oh, I get. Maybe I opened up an old wound if Marcus is watching our program.
You know what this is? This is like a Make-A-Wish
Yep.
for you.
It is.
It's like you're so giddy like a kid. This is great.
I'm like a kid in the candy store. Like I said, Jack, that team, that play, definitely just. I mean, it made my childhood. I'm not going to lie. My brother was always a diehard Dolphins fan. And they had won, or they went to the Super Bowl that year before. Now they didn't win, lost to those Redskins. So when you guys played them, I always held that over his head. And when you had that interception, I can just still picture myself just jumping up and down and screaming. It was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy to, like I said, to win the Super Bowl is like a huge, great thing. But to not only win it, but to also participate and, score a touchdown like that, it's like a dream come true. It took me about 2 weeks to come down to reality. So
yeah. I can only imagine.
I was going to say, speaking of Super Bowls, you got a prediction for us?
I mean, if I had to bet, I would probably take the Rams, but
okay.
You never know. The Super Bowl's a Super Bowl. So.
Do you see what shirts we're wearing here?
Yeah.
Well, let me. You guys weren't favored in the Super Bowl either, were you?
No. We were, I think, 3.5, 4-point underdogs.
Hey, there we go.
See, so there's that. So that's good.
I mean, they beat us actually in the regular season, and they had that long. Joe Washington had that long run before half.
Yep.
So, but we knew. I think Cliff Branch pulled a hamstring in the first quarter, so he was out most of the game. And I think Marcus Allen was injured that game. So we had some key guys out, and we played sloppy too. So
yeah,
I think that was another factor.
And one of the greatest trades I ever remember was that when Al Davis pulled that trigger on Mike Haynes' trade. When you guys had those shut down corners, that was like lights out for everybody else. Yeah,
I mean, I think those probably were I think they're the two best corners to ever play. I mean, I'm a little biased, but
yeah,
I just feel that way. And like you said, when he made that trade, that was huge for us.
Absolutely. Well, Jack, I don't want to take too much of your time. Again, we appreciate you coming on our show. And to be honest with you, this is like a childhood dream, rooting and watching that play as a kid, now getting to talk to you. You made my year already, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jack.
Absolutely, Jack. I appreciate it. And thank you again for joining us.
Okay. Thank you and have a good day.
You
Take care. Thanks, Jack.